Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis are a powerhouse Hollywood couple who are known for their on-screen romance on That 70s Show that ran from 1998 to 2006. The couple ended up rekindling years later and ended up getting married in 2015. Well, the couple is under fire for huge reasons, and today we will be discussing the top 10 Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis warning signs we should have noticed. I'm letting you know in advance, this video does cover some serious topics. For our number 10 spot, we have supporting criminals. For some background, the two met on the set of That 70s Show when Kutcher was 20 and Mila was just 15. One of their fellow co-stars, Danny Masterson, was just recently sentenced to 30 years of jail time. This is due to the horrifying acts he has committed back in 2001 to 2003, during the height of his fame. We can't go into detail since it is some graphic information, so feel free to read more about it online if you want more detail. However, Mila and Ashton are facing huge backlash, and in my opinion, for a very reasonable and valid reason. They have written letters of support towards Masterson, which was devastating for the survivors in the situation. These letters date back to July 27th of this year, with Kutcher describing Masterson as someone who treated others with quote-unquote decency, equality, and generosity, and even called him an exceptional older brother figure. So many people were mad, and rightfully so. Ashton even said in the letter how he does not believe Masterson is not going to cause ongoing harm to the society, which is just wow. Mila and Ashton then came forward with an apology due to the huge backlash they began to face, and they apologized for any harm they have caused the victims due to the letters. Ashton then said those letters quote-unquote were intended for the judge to read and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that, and we're sorry if that has taken place. What do you guys think about Mila and Ashton's statements? I would love to hear your opinions on the situation. And for number 9, we have Kutcher talking about young girls, and not in a friendly way, but in a kind of creepy and gross way. Actually, one of Danny Masterson's accusers and former girlfriends, Chrissy Cornell Bixler, resurfaced one of the videos which was taken in 2003 when Kutcher was 25, and these disturbing clips show Ashton talking about the very young Hilary Duff. He says she is one of those girls we're all waiting to turn 18, and I'm not sure who we are, Ashton, but yikes. He followed that up by saying along with the Olsen twins. This disturbing comment raises huge red flags as these girls were so young, and for a grown man to say these things about them is disturbing. Unfortunately, videos such as this one has resurfaced surrounding other celebrities as well, such as MGK, also known as Machine Gun Kelly, and the video showed the then 23-year-old MGK discussing how he needed to wait for Kendall Jenner to turn 18. What is with those creepy comments? It is quite disturbing what Hollywood allows you to get away with, because that is so wrong in so many different ways. For number 8, we have a creepy dare. In a 2002 clip where Kunis and Kutcher discussed the age gap between the characters the two played in That 70s Show, Mila played Jackie and Ashton played the role of Michael. These two characters had an on-screen romance that slowly caused the two to fall in love in real life as well, years later. Well, during an interview with Rosie O'Donnell, Kutcher revealed a disgusting dare Danny himself told Ashton to do. Masterson told Kutcher he would give him $10 to kiss the much younger Mila Kunis. Mila actually interrupted the boys during their conversation to say Masterson actually bet her $20 Kutcher wouldn't do it. Rosie O'Donnell followed up by stating, "Then the cops showed up and you got arrested?" Kutcher then responded to O'Donnell with, "They should've, but they didn't." Keep in mind, Ashton was 20 and Danny was 22, which means they definitely knew what they were doing, and it was definitely wrong. Yeah, it can be looked upon as a stupid dare, but come on, this is wrong on so many levels. I mean, on-screen kisses for your job are one thing, but French kiss for a dare? This situation definitely does not look good for Kutcher, and especially Masterson, as the intentions behind this dare don't seem to be innocent. Kunis during the interview addressed her emotions at the time by saying she never kissed a boy at the time, and although she found Kutcher attractive, she was still so young and quote-unquote extremely scared for my life. In our 7th spot, we have Kutcher's unspoken secrets. Chrissy Bixler, who we talked about earlier, has recently come out on Instagram with a story that was shocking. In case you forgot, Bixler was one of the survivors of Masterson, and she was a former girlfriend of his. Her Instagram story went as a response after Kutcher and Kunis had the letter that was shared and made it public. She goes on by stating how she knows all the secrets Masterson kept for him and stating she knows things that would end him. Apparently she was there during Masterson and Kutcher's February 21st, 2001 phone call, and she says she heard the plan and even compared Kutcher and stated how he is equally as sick as Masterson. What was heard by Bixler was unclear, but that date is very important as we will further discuss this later on. Bixler then addresses Mila directly and states she is praying for Mila to recognize and process what has happened on set. She then encourages others to watch Mila's old interviews as her old interviews are very telling and want to raise awareness to these videos before they are wiped. She then further addressed what happened in Toronto, and although Bixler did not directly state what happened, she did say she remembers what happened in Toronto and after, following with this direct statement. Question: if that is what you view from a big brother figure, then I feel very sad for you, and I hope you consider getting into therapy. And wow, whatever Bixler is talking about surely says a lot about the men on this show, especially since they were all more than 5 years older than Kunis. I'm glad Bixler is speaking out, and I'm sure it isn't easy talking about situations where the public has big opinions. In our number 6 spot, we have Mila lying about her age. There has been rumors circulating for quite some time now on whether Mila Kunis really did lie about her age when talking to producers of That 70s Show. Well, Mila Kunis has come on record after 24 long years that she did in fact lie in order to secure her role as Jackie. She admitted to an interview with Vanity Fair that it was indeed true, as she told producers she was almost 18 in order for them to let her audition. And by almost, she meant maybe 1, 2, 3, nope, 4 more years to go, which would have made her 14 years old when the show started filming. I'm surprised she was actually able to get away with this, but hey, she did land the role, which is quite impressive, especially knowing how young she was when she auditioned. However, we all know her being as young as she was has caused major red flags when it comes to the cast, but at the end of the day, she was still a child and could not understand the issues potentially surrounding this. For our number 5 spot, we have Bixler accusing Ashton for not revealing as much as he knows about the 2001 death of Ashley Ellern. Before we discuss this one, these are all accusations and speculation, so take this with a grain of salt. But back in 2001, Ashton was supposed to pick up Ashley for a date. However, she never answered the door when he arrived, and Ashton then left assuming she wasn't home, and he later played a part in the sentencing as he testified back in court in 2019. Bixler claimed that Kutcher knew more about the crime than he let on, and Kutcher always said he remembered seeing what he thought was red wine stains on the rug, which he later found out was not wine. The police ended up questioning him, and he was fearful as he remembered his handprints and DNA were all over the door, and he ensured he let police know in advance. After this, he was shortly ruled out as a suspect. Well, according to Bixler, do you remember how we mentioned the February 21st date? Well, that was the day Ashton was supposed to go on a date with Ashley when he ended up leaving because she didn't answer the door. Well, Bixler was dating Masterson at the time and claimed that same day Ashton had actually called Masterson, and the entire conversation was on speaker, which allowed Bixler to hear all the details. Although she has not directly talked about what happened, she implied he is hiding more than he has admitted to. In fact, her direct quote is as stated: "Did you forget I was there? You were on speakerphone that night you called Danny on February 21st, 2001. I heard everything. I heard the plan." Bixler did not further discuss what plan she is talking about. However, Ashton has always claimed he did not know what happened to Ashley until the next day. So what happened on this phone call? Ashton has not yet commented on the situation, and I can't imagine how the family of Ashley are feeling as all of this are resurfacing, and I hope they're able to find closure. In our number 4 spot, we have another video resurfacing where Ashton is outright creepy towards Mila. For a video Mila was promoting for That 70s Show, the video seemed normal at first as Mila was just talking to the camera, but once she moves over, she reveals Ashton is right behind her. Ashton reveals in the video the only reason why he is even doing this video promotion in the first place is because Josh told him Mila would sit on his lap if he did, and the two began laughing. Kutcher even follows by saying, "And it feels good." This definitely does not help the situation as he was an adult during this time. Kutcher and Masterson has always been close friends, and with Masterson being the oldest one on set, they reportedly looked up to him as a role model and big brother. Videos of Masterson were also resurfaced that were quite similar to the ones we just talked about with Ashton. The two men clearly did not show Mila any respect or give her any boundaries, and the fact she was very young at the time, this poor girl probably did not even realize how bad the situation really was. In the 3rd spot, we have Mila's old interviews discussing how she has no idea what the writers are thinking. The reason why this is such a warning warning sign is because the interviewer was questioning Mila, who was 19 during this taping, about her character as Jackie. And Jackie was seen as a promiscuous character, and Mila even says that she is the only person who has kissed every single one of their co-stars except for Topher. She even states how it is upsetting for her parents as well. The interviewer even says to Mila how all of this is so wrong, which Mila agrees with him. He further asked her what the writers were thinking, and she even says she's unsure, but it's her job to do what the script says. The interviewer said he was worried for her, which is upsetting that Mila had to go through this all so young. These old interviews are very telling, as she does seem to be aware of how all of this is not okay. I really hope Mila is able to find peace when it comes to her early years on the show, as it seems to have red flags all over it. Although Mila should have not supported Masterson, it is clear in the past she has been a victim as well. In our number 2 spot, we have Ashton being contradictory of his own beliefs. It seems people are also angry at Ashton because he has always shown a passion towards ending trafficking, as he is a co-founder of Thorn alongside Demi Moore. Thorn was established in 2012 and aims to create and develop technology to assist with aiding those who are being trafficked. The company focuses on 3 principles, which are to accelerate with victim identification, equipping, and empowering. It seems the message of empowerment is unfortunately backfiring at Kutcher because his statements seem to be extremely damaging, not only towards the direct survivors in Masterson's case, but to all the people who have been through similar situations. Thorn has really made a positive impact, and it is upsetting for Ashton's statements towards Masterson to feel like he's almost taking a huge step backwards. Hopefully he is able to recognize this and remembers he is fighting for those who are survivors and not going against them. In our number 1 spot, we have their failed apology. As we discussed earlier, the couple faced major backlash after their letters of support to their former co-star Masterson was made public. The two took to Instagram and shared an apology video. However, I don't think the video went as planned, and eventually they did have to turn off their comment section. Many people are calling them out by calling them insincere and claiming they're only coming forward with this apology because they were caught. Some sources say that the two did not know these letters were gonna be made public. People tore their video apart as they claimed there was no substance or accountability taken. It was clear Bixler, who was one of the survivors of Masterson himself, was angered, and rightfully so. Many celebrities also took their opinions, including Amy Schumer, Christina Ricci, and Grace Tame. It is clear the majority are not siding with Kutcher or Kunis on this one, as their apology does not seem to aid their case at all. I hope the survivors are able to find their peace and closure during this time. I can't even imagine what they're going through, especially with the whole world speculating on the situation, and my heart goes out to them.